plenty of cheap flights to Canada before Easter.
Oh, yeah. Like what? Children with babies go half price. I don't think it's a money issue, do you?
Well, it is if I don't know what I'm going to be doing for an income this time next month.
Yeah, I wonder if she realises her entire family life's going down the pan. All for the sake of one pathetic little fumble.
Regardless of that, this business is going to take every last penny we've got. So we better start making some proper plans. I've got to start looking forward now, Martin, not back.
Yeah. Right over the edge of a big cliff.
Losing your temper's not going to do any good.
Well, the old thing's just knocking me sick, it is.
Martin!
Mum, I don't feel very well.
Oh, what's up with you now?
Pack it in, will you? Do you talk to people like that at work?
I've been sick.
Well, you better stop at home then, hadn't you?
No, I'll be all right in a minute. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Sarah Lou, I spoke to Rita about you packing in your paper round.
You didn't tell her, did you?
I said you needed more time for your schoolwork. She was fine about it.
Yeah. Someone else we've got to lie to on your behalf.
If you're feeling better later on, we'll go into town and do a bit of shopping.
You've done...
Well, she's going to be needing some more clothes. Go back to bed for an hour, love.
We don't even know if it's true yet.
Are you going to ask him or what?
Well, when I say him, but Jeepers, Maxine, what am I supposed to say to him? Hey, Uncle Fred, is it true that come from a long line of mad murdering nutcases?
No, he's just being stupid.
You know, just 'cause Maxine wants to know, like, when it kicks in. Well, there's nothing we can do either way, is there?
Right, I'll see you later, love.
Have a good day. Don't work too hard.
Hiya.
You're found, darling.
Some of us have to work, you know.
What about me sausage and tomatoes? Hey, you've got a cracker there, pal.
Yes, sir. What can I get for you?
I wouldn't mind that waitress on a butty, I'll tell you that.
But by that waitress, I assume you're talking about Hayley.
Ah, that's the one.
My wife.
Well, good on you, pal. No wonder you look worn out. Right, I'll have 2 egg and bacon on toast and a large tea, 4 sugars to go.
Are we ready?
Well, you are, obviously.
So what we got lined up for today, then?
Well, I'll be doing what I usually do, and you'll be doing what you usually do. Stitching.
You what? Oh, come on, Mike. Is that all the thanks I get for bringing another big deal in?
Oh, look, I appreciate the extra work, but it's all so much talk without the stock to back it up. You made your bed, start stitching it.
Great.
Well, what's the matter? Don't I pay you enough?
I don't want to spend the rest of my life behind a machine. You've seen what I can do if you let me have a go at selling.
Yes, I have, and I'm impressed. Look, if you were a lousy machinist, I'd have another think, but you're not. You're the best one I've got. That's why I need you working when it's going to be the best for all of us, at that machine.
So that's it, is it?
Yes, I'm afraid it is, darling, for the moment. I'm sorry.
Get off.
You know, I thought there was something funny about that Bob Bradshaw. I say, I thought there was something funny. Too smooth, if you ask me. Too smooth be half.
It's just that some people are more easily taken in, Fred, that's all.
I thought Alma had ever head screwed on. Still, how did you take it?
Well, I haven't told her.
You what? You can't keep something like this quiet, Audrey. The bloke could soon be residing at Her Majesty's pleasure. I mean, I know you want to be discreet.
Well, what's the point, Fred? She wouldn't believe me if I did tell her.
But this is different, surely. You're supposed to be the best of pals. It'd be better coming from you.
Yes. Well, our friendship, I'm afraid, isn't what it used to be. Now, if you think it's better coming from a friend, then you tell her.
I don't care so long as it's cool. I mean, if it's a banger, it doesn't bother me as long as I can do it up.
What are you going to do when all these women start throwing themselves at you?
Are you joking? I'm going to start catching them, aren't I? You just wait and see. My car's going to be a top babe magnet.
Providing you get your licence.
Days, Flower. We're talking days. Hey, if I can pass that theory test, I mean, my brain's still aching.
Oh, you should be dead chuffed. You did brilliant.
Nah, they went out to it.
Here he is, here he is. I bet you didn't know what a star we had among us, did you, Toya? Coffee, please.
Oh, he always reminds me if I forget.
Respect, Ken.
Beg your pardon?
You see, the problem is now I've got to wait for my practical test.
Oh, what have you rung? See if you've got any cancellations.
What do you mean?
Yeah, why not? Might be able to fit you in quicker if you get your name down.
Well, why didn't you tell me before? I'm going to go and ring them now. Make way for the Dobbs mobile.
You haven't got 10p, have you?
Chucking stuff about again?
Oh, yeah. No. Just having one of those days.
Are you all right? You look shattered.
Yes, I must admit. I didn't sleep very well.
I wish there was something useful I could do.
There is. Don't disappear on me, Rebecca. I just feel like I'm trapped in that house. Every time I get home, I realise what a lousy rotten mess we're all in. And then, of course, I've got to keep it secret.
Have you eaten yet?
No, but I will.
Come on then. Break. We'll get something to eat. I don't want you getting ill with all this worry.
Okay.
Are you not well, Linda? Only you've been sat behind your machine all morning.
Oh, very funny.
Have you not got any shopping you could be doing or out like that?
If you must know, I wasn't shopping. I was out getting more work for you lot.
Oh, thank you very much.
Big new orders, which means more overtime, which means more wages. So shut it, will you?
And you were so brilliant at it. Baldwin's offered you promotion to, guess what? Sitting behind your machine again, like the rest of us.
If I hadn't volunteered, then we'd all be stuck right now. I can't leave Mike short-handed with all this work on now, can I? And anyway, it won't be for long.
All right, I can just see it now. You'll be all right with 4 dozen of them, madam. I saw them myself.
Get lost.
Oh, no, hold on. I just wanted to see how you were doing.
Look, if you come saying this for Audrey, just forget it, because I'm not listening.
No, just hold your horses a minute, will you? It's about your pal, Bob.
But what about him?
Well, it's just something I think you ought to know, that's all.
Oh, listen, Fred, I'm past folk telling me at my age who I should be seeing.
That side of things is none of my business. No, this has come from Dougie Ferguson, and I don't see any reason why he should want to make it up. Bob's been arrested.
He's what?
For defrauding council. That's all I know. I just thought you ought to know and all.
Isn't it a bit late to be going to Canada? I mean, what is she, 5 months gone?
Yeah, she goes straight away before she starts showing too much.
Yeah, but people are still going to wonder what's going on at such short notice. You know, you've got kids in school and a woman who's working and to uproot just like that.
Yeah, well, we'll jump off that bridge when it comes.
So where does that leave you?
Well, it leaves me trying to bring some money in at this end, I suppose. Still got to pay the mortgage, haven't we? Can't just uproot overnight. Well, not all of us, anyway.
What, and this Stephen bloke's got plenty of money, has he?
Oh, yeah. And it's a good job he has. Otherwise, this little escape route won't be an option.
Look, I just need to know, Martin. Are you going to be going or staying?
Oh, as far as I know, I'm staying. Yeah, I'm going to be over here on my own. A couple of months ago, I'd have been doing somersaults. Now it's just my stomach doing them.
Oh, Alma. I'm glad I've seen you.
Oh, sorry, Roy, I was miles away. So, what brings you out from behind your counter?
Oh, well, we've run out of muffins. I just thought I'd nip out, you know.
Are you all right?
Have you noticed anything untoward regarding Hayley over the last week or so?
Like what?
Has she seemed distracted at all, in your opinion?
Well, not so that I've noticed. Why?
Not her normal, usual, cheery self.
Look, Roy, could you just spit it out?
It's a bit awkward, really.
What, is it serious?
No, that's probably nothing at all.
All right, well, look, excuse me, I'll see you later about it, right? Oh, hi.
Yes, love.
You haven't seen Bob, have you? Only I've been trying to get in touch with him.
Oh, you've not heard then?
Well, I wouldn't mind knowing what's going on, because it seems like I'm the only one who doesn't.
He's had his collar felt, love. They pulled him in yesterday. Subsequent to investigations into conspiracy to defraud the council or some such like. Corruption.
But it's suspicion. I mean, surely it's a mistake.
Listen, love, I'll tell you this for now. I don't mind having the odd pint with him now and again, but I wouldn't trust Bob as far as I could throw him.
But what exactly is supposed to have done?
I don't know. Could be anything with Bob. He's as wide as they come. Still, looks like he's finally got his fingers burned, doesn't it?
Maybe if I got knocked over by a bus. I'll be better off.
Oh, don't be stupid. You'll cope. You'll have to. And I'll help out wherever I can.
Yeah, where you can.
Maybe them going to Canada isn't such a bad idea, you know? It'll give you time to think and sort out your plans.
Oh, yeah, just in time for Gail to get back from Canada with a new baby on her arms as if nothing's happened. All nice and domestic.
Well, if you go along with it, then that's what you've got to look forward to. You're gonna have to be ready, Martin.
Rebecca, I can't even see as far ahead as tomorrow. Never mind whatever it is, 4 months off. Oh, you never know. They might decide to stop there, eh?
So's it out in these Cartwright rumours or what? Only Maxime's giving me heading going on about it.
I believe there was some minor scandal ages back, but apart from that, I've no idea. Toya, love. 2 ambaps and spotted dick in custard. What are you asking me for? It's Ken Barlow's mithering with this silly business.
I know. But they're saying this Bernard Cartwright who did folk in, it were your granddad. It were.
Yeah, but...
Uncle Fred, after everything...
Roy, what's up with you? You'll have it raining.
You've seen that Stuart keeps coming in here, haven't you?
Oh, that cheeky bills, of course I have. They're all the same off that side, full of it.
Well, I must confess, I'm a little bit concerned over his attitude towards Hayley.
What, chatting her up? Roy is a builder. It's programmed in.
Yeah, but her response, which hasn't been one of complete revulsion from what I've seen.
She's flattered, that's all. And quite right, too. She's nice, Hayley. What, did you think you'd be the only fellow ever to notice?
Well, I just don't think it's very proper.
Oh, Ashley, we're talking about a bygone age. Nobody's even sure whether Bernard were guilty or not.
They're still hunging for it.
Give over. They'd string you out back then.
So how much more family histories you don't know about? I mean, has anyone been dissolved in an acid bath or out like that? Because it's handy knowing, you know, just in case folk has gone off chance.
It's summer to nout, you hear me? Summer to nout.
Suppose you've heard about Bob.
Which bit do you mean?
That he's been arrested on suspicion of fraud.
Well, I'd heard, yeah.
Well, if you knew, why the hell didn't you tell me?
Like I told you before when he was trying it on with me, huh? Look, you didn't believe me then, did you? Why should I expect you to believe me now?
Oh, I have made a complete fool of myself. Don't make things worse. I mean, I just don't want anything to do with that Bob silly rotten Bradshaw, okay? I mean, I had enough of them tricks from Mike.
Well, I did try and tell you.
Tried ringing him earlier, but he didn't answer. And then I thought, what am I playing at my age, chasing after him? I mean, they're all the same fellas, and none of them worth it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they can just lock him up and throw away the key. I'm sorry. I mean, I said a few things that were out of order. But, you know, so did you. And, well, we can't undo that, but at least, well, you know, we could just try to forget it and put it behind us. I mean, what is the point of us falling out over some stupid fella, for goodness sake, at our age?
You really hurt me, Alma.
I'm sorry. You'll recover. We both will. I suppose.
Hey, come through, Fred. Come through. I was wondering when I was going to run into you.
You think yourself lucky you didn't run into my legal representatives first.
Really? Well, you better sit down and tell me what's going on.
Under circumstances, I would prefer to remain standing, if you don't mind.
Well, tally up to you.
I want to know why you've taken it upon yourself to disseminate slanderous fantasies all over Weatherfield with regard to my recent ancestry.
Bernard Cartwright. Well, I'm afraid I made the mistake of mentioning it in front of Blanche. I'm sorry, Fred.
Well, I want to know what you propose to do about it.
Well, I certainly never had any intention of publishing anything pertaining to you, Fred. Honestly, it was just something that I turned up.
Well, you better find a way of turning it down again, haven't you? I mean, it's bad enough for somebody normal But how it's going to look for a butcher, I've no idea.
That's a point, I admit. Still, you couldn't see your way to sorting Blanche out for me, could you?
Kenneth, this is not a laughing matter.
No, sorry.
I'm very serious, you know. I always thought you were a man of integrity, Kenneth Barlow. I were clearly mistaken.
Hayley, you know them builders keep coming in here?
What about them?
Well, you don't think they might be a bit, well, coarse, you know, in the eyes of our regular customers?
No, I don't think so. I haven't heard anybody go too far.
What about that, what's his name? That Stuart?
He seems very nice.
How nice does he seem? I mean...
Roy, what are you going on about? Is it because he tries chatting me up? Because he's probably doing exactly the same thing in cabin, corner shop, everywhere he goes. Come on.
Well, I must admit, it's having an unsettling effect on me. It's not a situation I've ever found myself in.
It is not a situation at all. And neither have I, for that matter.
Oh, is that why you seem to be enjoying it so much?
Look, if you see any signs of me doing something behind your back and getting all serious about it, then have a go at me. Until then, stop being so blooming daft. Come here. I love you, Roy. Anyway, I prefer brains over brawn every time, thank you very much.
Leave it out, will you, Leslie?
Hey, I knew that liver we got off you was a bit dodgy, Fred. You've not got any of them father beans in, have you, Fred?
Shut it, Les. At least all the crooks in our family are long gone.
The name of Elliot has always carried weight with the burghers of Weatherfield and will continue to do so for generations to come.
Yeah, but what's in them burgers? That's what I want to know. You want to watch yourself, love. It runs in families. Look at all them Roman emperors. Barking mad, the lot of them.
I've heard them all, thanks. And I'd rather have an interesting past than a sad, boring present.
Yeah, but what about your future? When all them Jack the Ripper cells start jumping up and down in your brain, and your eyes are bulging, and you're frothing at the mouth.
Well, then, we shall have to come to you for your expert advice on living with it, won't we? Now shut your gob and mind your own business.
Ah! They've got me! Ah!
You see what I mean? Something like this in the hands of an half-wit like Les Battersby, and never hear the last of it.
All right, boys and girls?
Don't even mention it.
Mention what? Oh, you mean...
Oh.
Any truth in that, then, or what?
Well, it doesn't matter now, does it? Ken Barlow's obviously adopted a gutter-press mentality. Truth has now to do with it as long as there's a scandalous tale involved.
Can't do much good for frescoes, though, can it? I mean, everybody making all this stuff up.
Well, now you come to mention it.
Exactly. There's now worse than a scurrilous rumour for nobbling meat industry, as we well know.
It might make us famous.
Might make us bankrupt. Still, if Ken Barlow chooses to exercise his power of free speech at our expense, I don't see any reason why you and me, Curly, should just sit there and take it. I think it's time we had our little say.
Don't know why you're sulking. The rest of the staff are loving this overtime money that your work's brought in.
I am not sulking. Well, all right then, I am sulking. It's not fair, Mike. I proved to you what I could do and you still won't give me a break.
I have thought about it.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
Look, it's more than just convincing someone to stick their hand in their pocket. You don't even drive for a start.
Well, I could learn, couldn't I? I could go on one of them crash courses, whatever they're called. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, when I found a new machinist, I'll have another thing. We'll sort it out then.
You're not just fobbing me off? Because I'll flatten you, Michael, if you are.
Is this your sales patter, is it?
No, I can be charming to them because they're nice people, not like you.
Well, you've just charmed me into going to the bar. I'll get Deirdre to sort it out in the morning.
Have you had any more thoughts about Canada?
Like what?
Well, I'm still trying to get my head around it, but... Well, the more practical stuff, like when, how much, that side of it.
You've changed your tune? How come?
Well, it's not my tune. I mean, I can rant and rave all I want, but there's no point kicking against whatever's the most viable option. Even I'm not that daft.
Martin, it has to be right. I don't see what choice we've got. It can work. I know it can.
Right, well, we'd better start looking into how we're going to organise it then, haven't we?
Fred, I'm glad I caught you. Listen, I'm terribly sorry about this business, about Blanche letting it slip, about it. Sorry, does,
Curly's been fully appraised of the slanderous goings-on, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, well, look, I'm trying to apologise, and I don't seem to be making a very good job of it.
You would have thought, since we all work in the same building, a little bit of loyalty wouldn't have gone amiss. And if there's a knock-on effect on Fred's business because of all this, well, there'll be a knock-on effect on ours.
Steady on, surely you're not saying...
I know I said Elliot would support the publishing costs of this book, but on current reflection, I'm afraid I'm going to be forced to change my mind.
But if you do that, I won't be able to publish it at all. I was relying on that.
Well, you should have thought of that sooner, shouldn't you?
And obviously, I'm going to have to support Fred on this.
You mean you're withdrawing Fresco's sponsorship as well?
I've no choice, have I? I'm sorry.
Both of you?
Afraid so.
Sorry, Kenneth. Won't you they say talk is cheap? Well, not in this case. Can I get you one, Curly?
Yes, please.
Mike gives Linda any more responsibility, she's going to think she owns the place. I mean, she's bad enough as it is.
Oh, she's common as muck, that one. But at least she's got some go about her.
Yes, well, I just wish she'd go somewhere else.
Say what you like. I can't see her ending up in a terraced house living with a trolley pusher.
What have you been saying about my book?
Ken?
You've been mouthing off to Fred about me naming his family over this murder business, haven't you? Why can't you just keep it shut, Blanche, for once in your life?
Hang on a minute, Ken. You can't talk to my mum like that.
I'm sorry, Deirdre, but I already have. Because you can't mind your own business, I've lost the sponsorship I was going to get from Fred, and Curly's joined in because he's worried about Fresco's. So I hope you're satisfied, you interfering old... goat!
Ken!
I hope you're going to apologise for that remark, Ken Barlow.
I mean, I might as well just pack it in and try something else. You've ruined everything.